Alrighty, good evening, everybody. We are back here with the NSR League, here with SimTraX Broadcasting, coming to you live here tonight. Half-mile track, we've got locked and loaded for you guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at what this race is going to consist of here with the Napa Auto Parts 400 at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway. This only being half a mile, this should be ticking by pretty quick, as they are definitely going to be enjoying 250 laps. So I hope they're well comfortable with this track. Last time we were at the short track, checking out there in the stats, and Mark Sikosi actually owned that track. He did a heck of a job out there racing at Southern National Motorsports Park, but we are able to tune in for this one here tonight. 100% fuel limit, 4 sets of tires down in pits. Keep in mind, these guys have no fast repairs and an open setup league, so they have been building and building and building all week. The only thing I'm super concerned of is how cold this track is tonight with a 69-degree track temperature. A lot of drivers have been making complaints that there's almost no grip out there on the track, but we're going to give it their best out there and let them rip. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at our starting grid here for tonight as they go ahead and get their formation lap underway. Knocking down the number 1 spot is going to go to Kyle Franklin out there in the number 11, moving on to Mark Sikosi, who sits in the 8th. Now, no surprise there from a short track king. He'll be marching up and staying up front, but he'll have Adam Glatfelter and Eric Johnson sitting right behind him. Drew Kuhn sits 5th, and Jared McGoon is in the 6th spot. Moving on to Charles Wilson and Jason Crumley. Glad to see Crumley back in the seat. We'll see if he can have a great run here tonight. They'll be starting on the outside of row number 4. Moving on to Brian Wiggins. That number 5 has been having nothing but trouble here the past couple of weeks. Hopefully we'll see him march forward. I do believe he's in a different paint scheme here tonight. I've noticed he is, I believe, in the Tide car. We'll see how he does. He'll be on the inside of Jared Hayes. Moving on to Daniel Lowe's, 11. Anthony Mathis is 12th. Rounding out the final of our field here is going to go to Adrian Torres, sitting 13th. Justin Cope, 14th. And Terry Litweiler in the 15th spot. Let's go ahead and get it underway. I'd like to give a quick shout out here to Fubar Studios for tuning in here. We get this one kicked off. Unfortunately, I did not see Doug Macedo out here on the track. Maybe a little paint trouble issue, but hopefully we'll see how he does. Adam Glatfelter is even out there in the chat, rooting everybody on for a good race here tonight. As the track rubbers up, I'm sure we'll see more grip out of these cars. Ouch! Hard shot to the wall there by Kyle Franklin. As he pans into the screen, he gets an early lead out by over a second, but goes ahead and takes that right front fender and sends it back to where it came from. Absolutely not. Let's check back in on our 3rd place of Jared McGoon, is looking for the number 2 spot. He's really working on the 44 machine of Adam Glatfelter, as Mark Sikosi is falling backwards. Oddly enough, he's currently sitting in 4th. Right now, man on the move out there is Jared Hayes. He's coming from the right now the 10th spot, currently sitting 6th. Drivers like Jason Crumley already on the back foot, but if I'm not mistaken, I think I just saw a driver go around here. Look like the 32 out there of Jared Hayes ends up looping it here. I don't think he was the only lone driver. There may have been some assistance there. First caution here of the night. All right, looks like Zero X Media joining back up with us here tonight. Looking to see how well these boys do. I am definitely hoping these guys have a good race here tonight. Number 18 not looking so good, as he is already a little bit bent up. I'm sure a quick stop into the pits. Short track, he'll have an opportunity to get a fix here. Let's take a look. 18 machine. And 32 loops it there. Yep. And just snags the 18. Unfortunately, takes that beautiful paint job and kind of turns him into a soda can here. Definitely not good for him. Eric will only have a little bit of time down pit road here before he ends up going multiple laps down. With such a short track, these guys will have maximum somewhere possibly about 30 seconds, and that is on top of their time heading down pit road. Currently he's sitting down there. Eric Johnson now 20 seconds. Justin Cope working his way out. Looks like a fuel and go for him. No, I take that back. 23 seconds in the box. Justin Cope will be heading on out. Oddly enough, Jason Crumley is going to be our first driver unscheduled here coming on down. Cope has gotten some work done. Eric Johnson got some work done. I think Jared Hayes still suffers down in pit road. unfortunately, is now ticking over 45 seconds. I think he would like to get going here. And my eyes do not deceive me. Jared Hayes out there in the 32 Tide machine and the 5. Brian Wiggins is out there in a Tide machine. I think one of them's got bleach, though, so we'll probably be okay with that. All right, once again, I thank you guys here for joining us here at SimTraX Broadcasting. We're bringing you the Napa Auto Parts 400 here from Kern Raceway. See how it is going. Lockridge out there is saying 32 minutes of damage for that. Yeah, absolutely not. I would not be fair call there. 32 minutes of damage. That's a blown engine. Unless he had a problem. So Jared Hayes making it less than 5 laps and does him in for the night. And I think Glatfelter just got dumped. Not quite sure what happened there. We'll double check here on the replay as they get taken off here. Let me take a look quick. Hurry up here. Let's go. Oh, it just sidesteps it. Yep. Now tires slightly glazed as they came under caution. And he'll have to start from the back. Right now out in front. Good times by most of our drivers as we are knocking down below 19 seconds out there. I think everybody's pretty excited and are watching their times. They're going to know when things start kind of ticking off here. Right now, Zero X Media is going to be heading down, but not out. Glatfelter holds 14th, moving up Derek Johnson, who's in 12th. He still has a few more drivers out there. You got a chance here at winning tonight. Right now, Kyle is still leading this race, though, but boy, does he sling off these turns and get super close to that wall. Right now, the number 11 here. If you want to talk about super close to the wall, here's a sign. Boy, he's got a ton of speed here. Great job. Yeah, he seems to have that car dialed in. That thing seems no lack of power when he puts the pedal to the metal. Great job. So Kyle definitely doing an awesome job. The only question I would wonder is if he has changed the gearing to make it that kind of speed where he's able to pull away. Will that affect his fuel mileage? We'll have to see. 250 laps. There's plenty of time to make adjustments out there for all of our drivers as Sikosa secures himself back into the second position. Jared Magoon sits third. Brian Wiggins is fourth. And boy, definitely odd to see when Glatfelter was up there toward the front, is now trying to slice through the rest of the field. Puts Adrian Torres behind him, and he is now going to be trying to look to his start, attacking on Jason Crumley. Right now, there's not too big of a field here, but he's still got a lot of work left to do. And now even Zero X is saying Franklin's a beast out there. I can definitely tell. He is still rolling. Check in is a couple drivers. That toward the top is Charles Wilson. Charles toward the top right now. Unfortunately, Charles Wilson is on the roll backwards. Oddly enough, all drivers from the 10th spot on back have lost positions. It's like the entire field inverted here. Eric Johnson's down 6. Jason Crumley down 11. Or excuse me, down to 11th, lost 9, lost 3. Losing 10 is Glatfelter. Charles Wilson's trying to battle back forward. He's lost 5. Adrian Torres started in 13th, only lost 1. Pretty rough race here tonight, but right now I want to kind of hone in here on Charles Wilson. Oddly enough, taking a much higher line than everybody else out here tonight. Got a little bit of that Michael Waltrip line. Right now he is hanging up toward the top. I don't know if that is his strategy out here tonight. They've set his car up for that kind of racing. We'll see if his tires can hold on to that kind of a punishment there toward the outside. I guarantee you we're going to be seeing a lot of trouble there from Charles Wilson. I don't know if he's trying to work his way down, trying to cool the tires off, if he's overdriving it. There are a lot of different situations he could be fighting here. We'll sit inside and take a look here at Charles Wilson and kind of see what he sees. as he continues marching around this track. Yeah, looks like everything's A-okay here from Charles Wilson. I notice he is shuffling it up just a little bit there. Definitely changed his race line here. Doesn't seem to be fading back the way he was. The race still being led by Kyle Franklin. Right now, got to admit, that guy has already got a 1 second separation minimum here over top of Sikosi. Right now, Sikosi is starting to try to reel him in. I think he's getting nervous of it getting out of reach for him. Jared Magoon there with Lockridge Motorsports. I am looking to check. I think if I am nope, I should have more than one driver. Right now, Jared Hayes down and out. Adrian Torres currently sitting back in the 13th spot. Jared Magoon is sitting third. There's Lilith Peters, and you need her out there. Try to get another strong driver in the top 5 for the Devin Lockridge Motorsports crew. Hopefully, would have an opportunity to see if we can find a little more out about this track and how this track is kind of treating these guys so far. Jared Magoon, unfortunately, has nobody around him. 1.7 in front is Sikosi, 2.5 seconds behind is Brian Wiggins, and he is all by himself out there in third, and he's just got to start hitting his marks and not overdrive the car and make the bleeding worse. Pretty tough race here. Let's check back in on Jason Crumley. I believe currently he is being overtaken by the 44 of Glatfelter. He went ahead and modified the front end of his car on the last restart. Eric Johnson doing just the same. He's moved up to 9th. That's going to go ahead and take Charles Wilson and Crumley and start shuffling them backwards. Right now I'm noticing a couple of guys like Drew Kuhn right now in the 21 machine. I believe that is the Corn Pops car. Yes, it is. We'll see how it goes. Now, I do want to keep kind of update you guys. I believe in the next week here or so, iRacing is coming up with a huge update. Right now, every car you see out here, unfortunately, are Chevrolets. Ooh, boy. Quick little shove there by Kuhn in the back of Wiggins. All of these are Chevrolets and a Chevrolet body style. Some of them may choose a Ford decal on it, as you see there from Justin Cope in the 59 machine. Next time around, the cars will be updating. We will have Ford bodies. So a little more of that Ford Taurus look and a nice rounded front edge instead of the shovel noses that you see here on Drew Kuhn there and Brian Wiggins. So right now, the person going to be changing out there is Justin Cope. I believe Mark Sikosi's car will be changing, and guys are going to be having just a little bit extra out there, and I'm excited to see how the drivers cope with those cars and what difference it makes to them out there. And we'll definitely hold our breath and keep an eye on it. 21 is starting to put a little bit of pressure out there on Brian Wiggins. Wiggins takes the high side. I believe he's going to lose not one but two as Justin Cope starting to lean in. No can do. Wiggins getting back into the 21 there. Definitely wants to keep the pressure on, not let him rotate toward the top. And Wiggins, not one but two. This is Cope now firing underneath. In the midst of this battling here, Glatfelter has moved himself up to now 8th, passing his own teammate of Eric Johnson. Johnson falls down. Now we're going to have to move up out there to Terry Litweiler. Right now, Outcast Motorsports seem to be racing most of themselves out here. Guys, if you think you can hang with the Outcast Motorsports gang, Devin Lockridge Motorsports, or even some of our garage guys, Crumley, Cope, and Sikosi, get your butt out here. Sign up. We are looking for drivers. I assure you, this is a different plethora of racetracks. We will be heading to the All-Star race next week to iRacing Super Speedway. Probably against my better judgment, but who knows? We'll see how fast these cars can go. iRacing Super Speedway with 30-degree banking, long straightaways, but they are going to be marching those off in multiple stages. Then we head to Sebring, back to USA International Speedway, and then to Texas before we start the chase. So we separate it between half-mile tracks, we separate it between mile-and-a-half tracks, and then we have them as big as almost 3 miles out there with the iRacing Super Speedway. So, guys, if you think you can hang, join up with the NSR team. If you're not sure how to do it, I guarantee you Lockridge Motorsports out there can help you. Mark Sikosi or Justin Cope, they will definitely be excited to help you. And they'll also help out there for Fubar Studios for the Track Day 4 veterans out there. Trackhouse is definitely a good thing that those guys do what they do out there to help our guys. All right. 0X saying sounds like chaos at 200 miles an hour. Yes, it does. You must be talking about iRacing Super Speedway. I guarantee that. I don't know 110% how you would set the car up there. Turn entrance is just about suicide. So you want to squat the car down for the most amount of speed, but trying to load the suspension before you get in the turn. Guys not slipping out is going to be pretty impressive out there. So we'll have to see how it goes. I mean, there's no other way. All right, Jared Hayes, we were talking about a little bit of time out there that he's going to be spending for 32 minutes. He hasn't even reached halfway, unfortunately, as we see a little bit of wiggling back there from Eric Johnson. Good Lord, he's setting out of 2 there. Flies up the track, wiggles it, heading down the backstretch and passes Adam Glatfelter like he didn't even have his foot on the gas. That's pretty rough out there. We'll see how that goes. See if a couple other drivers. Right now, I'm assuming cars are about to start becoming lapped cars here in just a moment, as right now Kyle Franklin still leading this one, but has not gotten rid of Mark Sikosi. Sikosi's been waiting him out, slowly reeling him in. Fell down by about 1.5 seconds, but Mark Sikosi right on him. Currently, the number 8 car is looking for that seam to see if he's got a spot where he's going to give up. Right now, they are catching the back end here of the field. I believe Adrian Torres and Anthony Mathis are already laps down. Next car in the line should be Jason Crumley, and Crumley is just praying he can get out of there. That'll be the number 9 Dodge we're taking a look at here, and we'll take a peek off the back. These are our leaders getting ready to reel them in. Keep in mind that Mark Sikosi and Jason Crumley are teammates out there for tonight. I would wonder if Crumley and Sikosi might radio up between each other, that something may or may not happen. We are taking a look here, and yeah, right now, no can do. Kyle Franklin wants to make the pass here. Sikosi following. Crumley up into the wall. He goes in and lets him by. Easy peasy there by our leaders. That goes ahead and lets them on around. That brings us to only 11 drivers here on the lead lap. Daniel Lolis will be next. I believe currently is sitting, believe, taking a look, probably about 1.5 seconds out front. Not very far. So he's got to have to turn up the heat a little bit here in the 97 car if he wants to stay alive out there. So, Devin Lockard, if you are tuned in, and I know you got a lot of stuff going on out there, give us a fuel window. Definitely want to know. I believe that is the 14 machine of Anthony Mathis. Tons of damage to that car. Something tells me he went up and greeted the wall a couple of times here as he's missing the front clip. Anthony Mathis is yet to pit here tonight. I think he's waiting for everybody to start running out of fuel and possibly come in. Half-mile track, I would assume. We have enough fuel to go over 100 laps here, but we'll see. I don't think the tires will last that long, or anybody's willing to deal with the tires that last that long. Now, Anthony Mathis will be going multiple laps down here, so now we throw another wrench in the spoke here for Kyle Franklin and Mark Sikosi. Currently, this is some lap traffic here. The 11 has to definitely deal with this. Sikosi, boy, saw his light flash before his eyes there. A little shot to the wall there on the 14 of Anthony Mathis. Oddly enough, I believe Anthony Mathis does pass Jason Crumley, as Crumley is our first driver to take it back to the garage. Boy, look at this. Right now having a tough time. Sikosi, tired. Yep, right now those tires on the car. Feeling pretty tired. Currently, he is trying to save him as much as he can. Keep up with Kyle Franklin now. If Sikosi pushes as hard as he can to keep up with Franklin, what adjustment can Sikosi make to try to run this guy down? I told you my biggest concern here of the night was what it's going to be looking like track temperature-wise, and this is going to be rough. So far, lap number 53 underway. Lap number 53 underway here at the Napa Auto Sports 400. You're currently watching our top two guys. Let's roll back and take a look at Justin Cope. I believe this is now going to put the 99 into the rearview mirror. Jared Magoon, remember I said he had nobody around him there for quite some time. Looks like Cope comes alive and goes ahead and starts running him down here. Looks like a successful pass out of Cope. Cope moves now up to third. Definitely a terrible qualifying position out there for Justin Cope. He has definitely turned his race around here. Now he's sitting third. Pretty comfortable out there, so let's move up here to Kyle Franklin. Sikosi looked like he started giving a quick little shove to Franklin to maybe try to trip him up a little bit and let him know, hey man, you're still here. You may still be out in front, but I am ready to pass. Motorsports says out there they haven't quite timed in their fuel run here tonight. That's going to be pretty rough. Right now it does look like, yep, Crumley did send her on home to the garage. He went, caution is out. And for some of these drivers, they're pretty happy about that. Right now I think the 14, something happened here. So we see that as the slowest and most damaged car out there on the track. Let's see if we can take a quick peek here at our yellow flag and what causes it here. Whoop. Yeah, I just looped it there. Yeah, that's what caused the caution there. It's coming back up on the track so much slower. So that will undo the race here for the 14 machine. So I would expect to see most of our drivers will be coming down into pit. Oddly enough, Franklin and Sikosi did not. Okay, they are now coming down. Everybody else is already in their pit boxes and working their way out. See how it goes. I believe maximum amount of stalls here tonight are 21. So I didn't know if they'd have to go in there in stages. I would expect to see Franklin and Sikosi 4 tires and fuel. Sikosi misses his box, but I don't blame him. There's nothing marking on the ground where the heck he needs to stop. So appreciate you guys joining us here at SimTraX Broadcasting. Don't forget to drop us a quick subscription out there and subscribe to the channel. That way you can go ahead and chat out here with Zero X, Fubar Studios, and Lockridge Motorsports, who have definitely been the most active here tonight. I don't want to see Glatfelter getting any more active, other than down pit road where he's trying to fix up that car and get that 44 car back onto the track. I definitely want him doing that and getting back underway here. I hate seeing drivers getting taken out or taking themselves out nonetheless. And try to see if we can get this thing put back together. Speaking of being put back together, I believe Anthony Mathis is down there. Looks like front bumper is now reattached back to the car and might have an opportunity to get some more, get this thing fixed up a little bit. We joke a little bit about what our fuel run should be. That shouldn't matter anymore for Lockridge Motorsports, as his driver is out in front. Jared Magoon should be taking us to the green flag next time by. And now, as it looks like the pace car did pull off the track. Looks like we may have extended the caution. I'm thinking we're extending probably because we got somebody out of line. Hey, Barney, how you wave the flag like that? What? Yeah, look at that green flag. Man, sometimes we get him swinging in, moving his arms all over the place, looking good. Other times it looks like we just got it flashing. All right, let's get back underway. Oh, boy. And our timing out there. I think Anthony Mathis has just come back onto the track. And right now, this is going to be really bad for our guys on fresh tires. They're going to be running them down and going to run it into lap traffic. Not but 4 or 5 laps into this one. I hope Anthony Mathis can get going and get out of there, because right now this is really bad for our field. Is Mathis losing control? We got our eyes on him. Let's see if Magoon. Oh, fantastic. I am so amazed no caution came out. I think Magoon just threw up in his helmet. That was disgusting. Right now, the 14 car, no! Rides into the wall. I get what the point would be, yes, but slowing down that slow almost got your rear-ended there. Yeah, 14 not happy with the night he's having right now. Somebody might be happy right now is Eric Johnson. Currently, he fought himself back up to third. Remember after the trouble he had back on lap number 4. Currently, Eric Johnson right now in the 18 machine. We are taking a look. I'm trying to get my feelers out there for Adam Glatfelter. Currently sitting in 10th with currently one position behind Charles Wilson. Unfortunately, Glatfelter is a lap down, though. Terry Litweiler currently sitting in 7th. And Litweiler's around. Saves it, though. Lap number 67. Already got guys spinning out here. I think the tire's not really wanting to work. Yeah, zero X out there. Said maybe some weak shoulders out of Barney. Yeah, or like half the paycheck came in and he's had enough. All right, well, Mark Sikosi had a 15.27 pit stop time, which unfortunately put him a lot farther off as a battle for the lead is underway. Right now, Kyle Franklin looking to slice underneath the Magoon here. Great job here by Magoon, keeping the discipline, staying up top. Don't pressure the 11. If the pass is going to happen, just let it happen, and then fight back a little bit later. Now would be a great time to cross up, slide underneath, and attack Kyle Franklin right back. But he's going to hang up top. The 99 watching the 11 here. Caution. Daniel Lolis is around. Gotta admit, great timing by Kyle Franklin to go ahead and make that pass when he did. I think this one just consists of Daniel Lolis possibly just looping this one around. He's a bit off pace here, and I think he's just trying to free this car up to see if he can get it to stick. And no can do. So Lolis currently sitting in 9th after looping it around out there. I believe we were up to our 3rd caution here of the night in 70 laps. Not bad. Yeah, Stella out there saying, looks like they've oiled the track. It is definitely slick out there. Rubber hasn't really started building up yet. We've been ticking off a few laps here. I believe we'll be up to 16 laps under caution of the 72 that have been run. So not a whole lot of rubber buildup. As it gets going and the tires seat in, everybody starts feeling a lot better, I would say. Some of the drivers out there, I would assume, would come down for repairs, like Adam Glatfelter. I think he would come in for repairs. Eric Johnson, try to see if he can fix some of his car up before something bad happens. And try not to get any more problems. Now, biggest question is drivers like Terry Litweiler, who saved it out there. What is he doing different? What is he doing wrong? If what made that car start walking around on him? And can he stay on the plus side here? Without actually sending it all the way around, bring out another caution here at Kern Raceway, and giving these guys a hard time. I definitely wouldn't expect anything bad of him. I'm not saying he's doing it on purpose. It just seems, unfortunately, that car is just not wanting to handle tonight. He's battling the car more than he is the track. We'll see if he can hang on. Only got a lot of work left to do here. As we get ready to get this back underway. Interesting bump and run here by Kyle Franklin. he works his way out front. That's going to go ahead and give him the lead. Over top of Eric Johnson. That unfortunately shuffles Magoon toward the back. Woes continue here. For the Lock Ridge Motorsports gang right now, Jared Magoon needs a little help out there. As currently it is caught on the outside of the number 8, Mark Sikosi. Sikosi's starting to work him now. See if he can loosen him up a little bit and squeak on by. A lot of opportunities out here at the track to make a couple of passes out there. Harder and harder out there. Kobe's now brought himself up to the second position. Sikosi trying to follow right behind. We are staying currently here with this clutch of drivers. They are the closest ones out there. Sikosi looking around the outside. Shoot on around here. Jared Magoon is on the outside. Magoon trying to see if he can take Eric Johnson, who's had some success lately, and start pushing him backwards again. Ooh, 10 laps since the last caution. Justin Cope almost brings out, yes, he does. Brings out the next one here on lap number 80. Yikes. Boy, that one could have been real bad. Fortunately, Justin Cope. Seems to get the rest of it here. This is him currently trying to run down. Whoa! The car zigged when it should have zagged. Alright, so he's already sliding by this point. Tries to correct it, and that car just straightens up. Yikes. Alright, so as Justin Cope sits down at the bottom, trying to see if he can fix that thing up. I think he would love to have the opportunity to get back out there and try to make something here of his night. Definitely easier said than done right now as they continue to do battle out here. Cope is looking to see if he can fix some of that damage. Out in front sits Kyle Franklin, Mark Sikosi, Eric Johnson, Jared Magoon, and Drew Kuhn. I'm waiting to hear. I've heard good things about Drew Kuhn out there, but I'd just like to see him see him come up with something here. Kuhn is awfully quiet. Definitely like to make a splash here tonight. So this one get going here. Driver setting up for this one. We'll be back on the green here in just a second. Go. Currently still rolling here. Looks like battle for third still hanging out though. We'll stick with our front guys first. It's currently there trying their best to see if they can stick in there. make something of this race as they continue the charge here toward the front. Hang in. Right now, Eric Johnson sitting in fourth. Kuhn's still pretty quiet here, sitting in fifth. Four Pop's car come alive. Charles Wilson sitting sixth. Lowless, even after his spin out, ends up in seventh. And look at this chunk of cars behind him. Right now, Justin Cope finds himself caught in the middle. And the 71, Litweiler saved it. Nope. Does he? Nope, didn't save it this time. No caution. All right, hopefully RC sees that. As definitely has a loop around in front of somebody. Backwards, hit the wall, tons of damage. Maybe we'll see if RC calls that one. I don't know. It might be a little late. That's Terry Litweiler working his way down pits now. Down and out of the way. Yeah, in the midst of all that, I think Anthony Mathis had another problem out there. Currently showing he may have... Yeah, I think he had an issue there. Currently saying it may have disconnected. This is Terry Litweiler. A shove by his own teammate. Gladfelter nails him. Sends him the rest of the way around. So no caution, no penalty will be divvied out. Which I guarantee you he's going to be upset. And hopefully these guys can work it out. A couple of teammates getting nudged and banged around out there. Get caught in a situation like that, you almost ask yourself, what have I done wrong? You know? Teammates smushing each other up out there. Hate to see it going on right now. There's Anthony Mathis there in the 14. And finally starting to knock some laps down now. Unfortunately, Litweiler was the only one who went around. He's going to be spending an extended amount of time down there in the pit box. All right, and all the way back here in the 8th spot. This looks like the 57 of Charles Wilson's about to be under a lot of pressure here. Cope has been peeking around the outside for something amount of laps, and now he's got him. Outside line, Cope. Boy, Cope having troubles of his own, trying to get around there. Looks like he's able to stick it and gets it. Guys are doing a great job out here so far, finally getting these cautions cleaned up. That's pretty difficult out there. Oh, Wiggins. I say that. I think these guys are tuned in sometimes and think about crashing. Hopefully they don't. Wow. Lowless on the outside. Down the bottom is Cope. I'm not quite sure what he's looking for down there, though. Trying to see if he can slide around. No can do. Cope now shuffling to the outside again. Wiggins can keep everything under control. He should be able to march forward. And Cope to the outside here of the 97. Not bad as we cross the 100 lap mark. A lot of things happening here at the Napa Auto Parts 400. Only a couple of cautions though. And now we'll take a peek up toward our leader here in just a moment. But man on the move is Justin Cope. He goes from second almost to last and then having to recover and come all the way back. Cope now up to 6th. Wiggins is going to block that low line, though. Love the strategy there. 5 sends it in. That's going to get Cope a little off his game. As they come around that front stretch, that's a little more curved. That gives the opportunity for Cope to go ahead and pull on around. And now it's going to be Wiggins is going to be watching. Unfortunately, Wiggins is down a lap, though. Currently sitting, actually, I think he's down 4 laps here for Wiggins. As currently Justin Cope is looking for Drew Kuhn out there. Which will be his next person he's looking to chop down and knock out the top 5. Kyle's doing an awesome job. He needs to keep up the good work. Unfortunately, Sikosi is right behind him. Keep an eye on this. It's about a quarter of a second behind, and Sikosi reeling him in. I guarantee you Sikosi would love to make this pass here. Does look like a little bit of right rear damage there out of Kyle Franklin. Boy, Sikosi. It seems the difference between Kyle Franklin here is Franklin is not dropping as low. The not dropping as low is allowing his rollout of the turn to be much smoother. And Sikosi fighting his race car is caught in the dirty air behind him. And once again, we are rolling up on some lap traffic here. I think that is, yes, the number 14 of Anthony Mathis are going to be catching up to again here. We'll see if we can get on around him. Fantastic job. Sikosi does find his groove, passes underneath of Kyle Franklin. Gets the pass, but here we go again. Down on the bottom, Mathis already creating a little trouble out up front. Mistaken, the 32 of Jared Hayes has returned. Not bad after, 33 minutes and 14 seconds he returns. They get around Adrian Torres. That was the driver we saw getting in the wall there just a little bit ago. And Sikosi now working on lap traffic. Down on the bottom. This is going to give him an opportunity to get around Mathis. Mathis going to hold up close to the wall. Does that cause any trouble there for Kyle Franklin? Maybe. 14. Not allowing him to hold up the track. So continuing. Mathis holding up Kyle Franklin there. Franklin now going to be playing chase. He's half a second behind. Great job by these two up front. Roll on back. Let's check back in on Jared Magoo. And currently Eric Johnson sitting right behind him. Unfortunate. Try to see what Chrissy's up to. Definitely, you know what she's up to. Hanging in, watching the game, watching the race. Let's see how this goes. All right, let's get her back underway. Currently, Sikosi is out in front of Kyle Franklin. Franklin burned his stuff up. I don't think so. Too early to tell. Very, very, very long race here right now as you see Sikosi leading this race. Kyle Franklin almost reels him in. I think there was contact. Looked like Kyle Franklin got in the back and Mark Sikosi. And doing the right thing when the 8 started spinning out and slowing down is not to continue pressing on. He actually hit the brake, lets Sikosi get back together. And then he's going to try to race it out with him. So right now, hats off to Kyle Franklin, doing the right thing. I'll tell you what, what I would have done to find any driver like that out there on the track. If you make a mistake and I'm able to save, at least give him my spot back. You know? Well, let's try to race it out the right way. All right. Awesome job here. Sikosi was holding on to it. I think he's a little nervous. Some rear tires maybe slicked up a little bit now. See, Kyle Franklin is chasing behind the Budweiser machine of Mark Sikosi. Let's check back in on Jared Magoon. I think Magoon's under fire right now, as he is working around some lap traffic. Ooh, lap traffic moves high. Magoon losing some position. Eric Johnson looking to see if he can get a little slice in there. Right now as they continue doing battle here. Currently this is looking at Eric Johnson, looking to the inside of Jared Magoon. Magoon able to fend him off though. Great job on Magoon. You can see Eric Johnson having to hit the brakes there a little bit. He wants to make the pass, but then has to nosedive the car again because it wants to start rotating up the track and then make contact. That's not what he wants, so back to the drawing board for Eric Johnson. He's going to have to see if he can build up another run again and see if he can dive underneath of him and maybe get a little, get an opportunity to squeak away. Right now unable to squeak away is Mark Sikosi. Now Franklin's got him here. Different angles Sikosi was having a look at. Yeah, let's go. Let's go ahead and take a peek at Justin Cope. Yep, that's Cope now to the outside. Trying to reel in Drew Kuhn. Replaying that part of this race. A lot of big games. Down and out here. Jared Hayes getting all the way back on the lap. Returns back. Lay down some laps here. Try to get at least ahead of Jason Crumley for one position out there. I hate seeing so early into the race somebody's taken out. But we've got, you know, a racer like Jason Crumley, who's currently sitting 14th. Made it to lap 46 and then kind of threw in the towel. Anthony Mathis is still out there driving around. And that's number 14 car. You see us creep on up on occasionally as our lap cars are getting around. Terry Litweiler a few times has been looping it here tonight. One of them, no caution was called. So I guess RC looked at it and said, nope, not enough to throw a caution out there. Napa Auto Parts 400 will stay under green, have been. Currently, I believe, since lap 80. We're definitely getting a long stretch-out drive this time. I believe only 2 drivers are going to have an opportunity at some different pit strategy out there. Justin Cope came down on lap number 81 on the caution that he ended up causing out there. Looking at his time out there for Justin Cope. May have been some damage. I don't think he took tires out there, seeing it was his 3rd visit here of the night. Definitely go green to the end. He came in about 30 laps later. And that tank full of fuel. Burn off some of that Sunoco gas as it gets around here. All right, Terry Litweiler currently sitting 12th. Let's rotate up to the front where Jared Magoon once again under fire by Eric Johnson. Eric Johnson back in his original qualifying position of 4th. Trying to see if he can squeak on by. Running out of real estate though. Magoon doing a good block here. Sitting about 2nd lane. Not really allowing the dive bombing at all. Guy shoots into the turn, down on the bottom. Giving an opportunity for a guy to rotate up and they can get into it. does look like Eric Johnson is taking a peek here. Applies some more pressure to the inside. Jared Magoon. Magoon seems unfazed. Couple things that drivers can change out there. Some tune back into the chat. Chrissy out there saying great race tonight. Good to see your guys. Yep, we don't stick here to the top 5 here in this broadcast company. We definitely like rotating around, make sure everybody gets plenty of camera time. Right now, Jared Magoon's been hogging up a good chunk of it here. As Eric Johnson still taking a look to make the pass. He had it for about a half a lap. And then, unfortunately, Eric Johnson having to back out of it as he was being scrubbed toward the bottom. Just too much abuse to the tires. Rotating around right now, Eric Johnson is still looking pretty close. Everybody else is about a second and a half off from each other. Let you guys see for yourself. These are the positions that they are in. The separation of all the cars. That was an old clump of guys sticking together, except our guys that are 1 and 2 out there. Sikosi's been having a stellar race. Up one position, did not get the pole. Kyle Franklin did. Goes to show you that Sikosi may be more of a long run driver and not sitting. Caution, make another short run. All right, appreciate you guys joining us here at SimTraX Broadcasting. Appreciate you guys subscribing as well. It's the only way you can chat with me out here. Keep this race going well beyond the halfway point here of this race. Napa Autoport's 400. Race being led out there by Mark Sikosi. Kyle Franklin unable to come up with an answer here. Mark Sikosi getting away, so it looks like good adjustment by the number 11. Moving on back to Eric Johnson. He's looking to see if he can get back to Jared Magoon, but he'll have the easy way of getting back to it is, yep, you guessed it, Anthony Mathis, the blue car you see parked sideways, I believe, is having to take him for a tow. Something broke here. Let's take a look. 14 machine running behind Lolis, has to brake check. Sikosi gets into him, and that is our leader. Mark Sikosi has unfortunately give up the lead as Kyle Franklin walks on around him on that one. Easy peasy. Kind of beside ourselves here. Taking a look at this race. What this means now pit strategy wise. I guarantee we're going to see guys heading on down into pit, 4 tires and fuel, and get back out there and let it rip. See who sits in for an extended amount of time down in pit. I think that kind of surprised me a little bit. Justin Cope, I believe, with another 23-second stop. Definitely in the box for a long time on that one. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him, though. Drivers are going to get bumps, grazes, and bruises here on themselves or the car. This race is going to look like. Get a few cautions here. Definitely love to beef up this field by another 10 to 15 drivers. Definitely an opportunity. Going to race a good chunk of the week as well. If you are not into the Gen 4s, they definitely do a lot more. They always have. NSR not shy of coming up with an idea or something to fix. Tuesdays, they'll be running the GT3 and GT4s. Wednesday, they are running the ARCA cars. And this being Saturday here, we're in the Gen 4s. These guys definitely racing a plethora of cars out there. Definitely try to keep it interesting as well by sticking it to an open series setup. So there is a base that these guys do run, and they make their modifications from there. I'm sure Sikosi makes some heavy adjustments, letting these go. We'll see how it goes. Sikosi did have a little bit of didn't miss his box again. About a half a second slower than anybody else, but about 2.5 seconds slower down pit road. Let's get back under green here. Kyle Franklin, Jared McGoon, front row, back at it again. Stupid fighting all day. Looks like Sikosi's going to try to get past McGoon as quick as he can. The drivers have been able to fix up a good bit of damage on their race car. Now, as I notice the number 8 of Sikosi underneath of McGoon. Guarantee it right now. Sikosi's getting real tired of his pit crew sandbagging him out there. He'd like to get out a little faster. So now he's got to run down Kyle Franklin again. 100 laps left to go. Kern Raceway bringing a bunch of surprises here. I believe that is Lolis going around again here. No caution as he slides off the track and is backwards. Oh boy. Reverse it back on the track. Here's the problem. This is the 97. This is him trying to get going. And normally you see cautions come out short tracks like this. That way the 97 had a chance of not getting hit. And it also kept Kyle Franklin and Sikosi pretty calm and clear. Caution does come out. I think this one might be a little bit delayed. Does loop this one around, unfortunately. All right, let's see what happens to Daniel Lolis here as they get back underway. Take a topside view. 97's looped it a couple of times. Yep, I'm not quite sure what got there. It looked like he was accelerating the turn through too fast. So, we'll shuffle the pit strategy again. Justin Cope heading on down pit road. I think he's going to be looking to get some of that right front fender repaired. As well as Terry Litweiler. I don't blame him. Laps down or not, let's get that car squared away. Yeah, 0X out there saying, was that admin thrown? It may have been admin or RC thrown. On that is what I'm currently showing the yellow flag is for. Seeing there were no other incidents out there on the track other than when Daniel Lolis getting around. I would say good caution, but a little late. But you know, there's a lot of places to look when these guys start separating out. It's hard to gauge where everybody is out there. But we would like to thank RRC out there for doing a great job. Not easy. I've seen somebody sent me a picture of what the controls look like, and I thought my broadcasting and producing area was rough. That kind of thing is a mess. All right, pace car lights remain on. Hopefully we'll be getting back to the start here. Should be this time around, lights are off. As we sit on top of Daniel Lolis. Yeah, 0X, okay, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Yeah, if Terry had gotten a caution for the exact same thing, yeah, I'd bought that. I'd have bought that. Yeah, because Terry definitely should have had a caution for his, but I don't know if there was something else going on the track and RC missed it or something happened. But then we'll definitely be diligent. We'll do our job here and let the race continue. Here we go. All right, here we go. Back underway. Lockridge Motorsports out there is hinting that drivers out there do have a radio up. They can use their team's comms or anything else to radio up to RC if somebody's looped it in front of them, or if they've looped it themselves. He can make a quick change, look at it, and see within half a lap what exactly caused your looping around and if it was caution worthy. That's why I would say it's always good to have two RCs. I know the Bandit Racing League did. Now they're coming back down to one. Definitely a headache for some, but a lot of people enjoy it. The only thing we seem to be enjoying right now is a little bit of caution fever. Currently, right now, this one goes to Drew Kuhn. Let's take a look right now. This is Drew Kuhn, and yep, loops it. Look out. Drew Kuhn still has a lot of race left to go. He has not popped his last corn. So he has the opportunity to fight back forward to get that 21 machine, at least in a top 5 spot. He's been running strong all night. I knew there was one thing when I used to race. If I ended up getting in a caution or end up with one of the damaged cars, I felt like the spotlight was always on me. As somebody's out there watching my unfortunate demise at my race going absolutely sideways out there. We should be back underway here in just a moment. Cautions are coming out a little more frequently now as we are broken past that 100 lap mark. I believe we have about 91 to go. Get going here. Pace car light should go out this time by. This will allow them to double stack. Get going here. What about you guys? I prefer the race under green. Says he made it in camera. I'll take the blip and roll that bad boy on back. You know, for if there are RCs out there that you can hit, I think the button that says crashes. Nice little knock there from Mark Sikosi, letting Kyle Franklin know he's not happy about getting pushed up the track. Franklin will have his hands full here. Sikosi wants that #1 spot back, but it's going to be harder. Looks like, ooh, almost trying to separate 3 wide. Eric Johnson. What was he thinking? Caution back out. Brian Wiggins caught in this one. Looked like Jerry Lagoon almost got clipped. Magoo got clipped. It looked like he got a little nudge there by Adam Glatfeldt, who's already fought himself back up not only to the lead lap, but to the 4th position. Not bad there. I believe Brian Wiggins is going to be our guy out there in the Tide machine. Going to have to clean up his race here just a little bit if he wants to be successful. Let's see how he does. What happens to Brian Wiggins in the #5? Whoa! Knock, knock. Little nudge there. Adrian Torres turning the #5 around. Brian Wiggins fuming now. Currently he is, yes, sitting in the 10th spot, but unfortunately about 4 laps down. Yep, 4 laps down. Kuhn down 7, Litweiler down 15. Still give it to Jared Hayes, though. He's down 90. He's still running this race. All right. Let's see what we can do here. I know race control out there sometimes does tune in the broadcast because sometimes we catch things that they don't even see. Brian Wiggins looking a little slow here, waiting for the corn pop machine to get back around. The number 21 there of Drew Kuhn. Get back up front. I think Brian Wiggins might be taking an EOL here. He's already here in the back. Driver's still single file. Caution's coming a little faster now. Yep, Daniel Lolis looping it around there. Lap number 150. And then back right after that, Drew Kuhn loops it around. And now about seven or eight laps later, Brian Wiggins loops it. I think he had a little assistance there from Adrian Torres. So we'll see if we can get this cleaned up. Pace car heading back in. Get this back underway. Mark Sikosi's pretty surprised. Unfortunately, tell him we were about 60 miles away at a different racetrack here tonight. And we were able to go ahead and bring it back to you guys for the Napa Autoport 400 at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway. Less than 100 laps left to go here, guys. Lap 168 is underway. Here we go. Kyle Franklin out front. Mark Sikosi. See if he can do something here with that outside line. Unfortunately, he keeps getting caught out there as he cannot seem to get lane choice. Mark Sikosi will be sitting down in second, watch the 8 to look for the crossover. He does not want to wait. This guy's last pit on back on lap 143. They're feeling pretty confident on those fresh tires. Again, Sikosi negotiate this move. Right now, this is going to be pretty tough as we look off the backside here of Kyle Franklin at the number 8. Wiser machine taking a look. There it is. I'm almost calling that his signature move right now as Mark Sikosi gets down toward the bottom and takes that splitter, just barely scrubs that paint and starts looking to the inside line. Doesn't seem to be coming out fruitful for him yet, but I'm sure he's looking for it. Fastest driver on the track currently goes to Justin Cope as Lolis loops it around here on the backstretch again. I don't think Lolis was in the way. Caution does. Look and see. 97. Clink. Yeah, I don't know if caution's going to be caused for that one. I think something else happens on the track as we are looking at that. I see Charles Wilson with some damage. And boy, I hope that's not Brian Wiggins. Yes, it is. Brian Wiggins with a heavy amount of damage here. He's trying to get that car going again before he goes another lap down. And Wiggins just can't stop the bleeding here. Heavy damage. All right, let's see what causes the yellow flag here. Wiggins and Charles Wilson get into it. Wiggins getting into the turn. Wonder if that downforce damage causes him problems. Around he goes. Clink. 32. 57 nails him. Oh, boy. The 16 Adrian Torres knocks in as well. Say Charles Wilson probably isn't going to be too happy about that. A lot of front end damage there. Take a look at the 57 where the 32 tries to avoid 57. Oh. It looked like it gave him some fine net code damage there in the front. It did not look like he made contact. Looked like he was able to check up just a little bit. The Tide machine, front nose to tail here, down pit road. They're trying to square their cars back away. Have no fear, it can be done. Look at Adam Glatfelter, currently sitting in 4th. Awesome job here. This guy's really been working. Happened back in Terry Littweiler during the caution. just don't know if he came to a stop or what happened out there. Hoping nobody smacked into him. Looks like everything went okay. Looks like maybe just had to stop and slow down a little bit. All right. Boy. Zero X out there. All right. Yeah, well, maybe we'll use it. We'll use it. He's got to get in the top. He's got to get in the top 3, and then we'll do it. Kyle Franklin, Mark Sikosi, Eric Johnson, 1, 2, and 3. Green flag back out. Tough race for a lot of these drivers, even our viewers out here. We're getting a good chunk of cautions. As you see Glatfelter looking here to the outside. Getting ready to put his own teammate there, Eric Johnson, behind him here. Taking a look, trying to get the power off. There's a look, Glatfelter going ahead and moving up. Look at the heavy damage to the nose there of Eric Johnson. He is not chosen for his pit crew to fix a single bit of it. He said, you know what, short track, I'm not worried about it. So here we go, Glatfelter up to 3rd. And Justin Cope and Eric Johnson are now going to go at it. And now Johnson just trying to hold on as Cope has been on the move. Cope, remember, he fell all the way in the back, looping it again, getting here. Cope back up to 4th. Crazy, especially if you're starting almost second to last out there on the track. A chunk of laps left to go, about 70 before this one ends. We're running laps of about 18 seconds out there. You better hurry up. Next 10 minutes time for Justin Cope, who would love to slice through and get 3 more positions. He does have the speed. Started outside the top 5, and that's where he nestles now. Currently, Lagoon is 6th. Our top 3 rejoined, though. Kyle Franklin, Mark Sikosi, and Adam Glatfelter from sit 1, 2, and 3. From their original starting positions here of the race. Remember, Glatfelter is yet to be back here. Since after the first caution came out on lap number 4, on the restart, the number 44 sidestepped the clutch, back the wall, which unfortunately sent him all the way back. He has been doing nothing but fight his entire time to get there. And Lolis again. Yeah, right now this guy might be serving a drive-through here. Right now the 97 loops in here. We'll take a look and see what gets Daniel Lolis out of shape. 97, a fresh driver out here. He's a heck of a driver. I think this short track is just kicking his butt here tonight. Let's see what happens. 97. And, yep, he does this one to himself as well. 32 does avoid. Oh, man, the corn popped car. Oh. Boy. Tell you what, Drew Kuhn, I say he was being quiet right now. He preferred going back to the quiet. Oh, did we earn it? Did we earn it all about barrels? I think we got one. Does the 21 hit the barrels? Yes he does. Yes he does. Wow. That's a bummer there. Hate seeing that for him, as this race will have to continue. With or without him into the barrels. Tough race. Don't know how you recover from smacking into him like that. We've seen crazier stuff here, haven't we, guys? Oof. car lights are still on, though. Let's get back to it. Here we are. Back out there. See, under green. Finally gets the inside lane choice. Franklin now going to be playing from the back. Now everybody else had pit here on lap 184. Mark Sikosi did not. This doesn't cost him the race. We'd love to just keep pressing on. Right now he said about a 40 lap difference on tires. Shouldn't matter too much as Sikosi gets out front and is looking to mix it up. Kyle Franklin now from the back. And tell me that's not the Glad Daddy. And no, that is somebody on their side. Who in the world is that? Is that Cope? Cope on his roof. Wow. Stella out there knows what I'm talking about, all about barrels. Well, speaking of barrels, we got a guy almost barrel rolling on this caution. I don't quite know what's getting into these guys. We have got them rolling one after the other. The 18 gets into him. That's where Cope is, on his side. And, back on the wheels. Pinnacle Raps out there saying, "Yep, smacked into the barrels. That is going to do it." Yep. We definitely saw it. Hate seeing the 21 car down and out here for the race. Do appreciate you chiming in, though. We almost gave you the All About Barrels award. You're not ready for it yet. Look at Cope. Here's the weird part, is he is not the only one to get into some trouble on this turn. Look at the number 11 of Kyle Franklin. He's sideways. 44 slips. Cope is sliding. I mean, everybody through that turn sidestepped it. All right. Zero X is giving an 8.5 on the landing. Hell. Fortunately, I am not seeing anybody down in the infield car care center, so it does look like Cope will remain out there on the track. No word yet from Drew Kuhn out there. Always try to bring the guys in, even if they wreck out. So obviously they have changed some sort of damage model out there as these guys are getting maimed. Lockridge is out there. He got smoked. Yeah. Definitely got flipped up. Fortunately, it looks like Coach staying on the lead lap, though. Catching back up. This is amazing. Throwing the banana peel out the window. It might be what he has to do to get Kyle Franklin off of him. Right now, as we keep this race rolling here. Track. Two tied machines almost side by side back there. Hopefully one of them doesn't wash up. Taking the other one out. Boy, my puns are awful. On top of the 99 machine. Looking to see if there's going to be a battle toward the front. Looks like Kyle Franklin is all over Sikosi. Now remember, they had already gotten in a scuffle once before. Franklin got into the back of Sikosi. There's going to be a huge battle up there. We'll kind of keep tabs on it. Right now Franklin is starting to work on Sikosi. Slides up the track a little bit. Now gets to cut down. There's the move. Sikosi. From the rear view to the left mirror, he's looking right now at Kyle Franklin out the window. Boy, he's hating this. Right now, as you can see, Sikosi is staying calm and cool. Going to go ahead and stay toward the top. Ooh, slips a little bit. So Sikosi going to have to figure out how to gain a little more confidence here. Try to run down Kyle Franklin. Remember, there is a tire disadvantage here for Sikosi. Exactly 39 laps is the difference between the tires of Sikosi and Kyle Franklin. So Franklin enjoying it. He's got the grip, and he's going to get around. Lolis and Kuhn still remain down in pit road for the last 30 minutes. So has the number 14 of Anthony Matthews. As I say that, Daniel Lolis looks like he now has got the car fired up and trying to get back out there. Unfortunately, Lolis has created a bunch of cautions here tonight. Yeah, right now, Lolis had trouble back on lap 58, 70, 150, 171, and 183. Whatever adjustment he made on lap 150 did not work. He needs to revert back. Less than 50 laps left to go here at Kern Raceway. We appreciate you guys joining us here at SimTraX Broadcasting. Bringing you the NSR Gen 4 Cup Series here on this fine Saturday night. Don't forget to tell your friends, subscribe here to the channel. That way you guys can chat with me. And if you're looking to race, there are plenty of ways to reach out to these guys. Mark Sikosi is your number one guy. Justin Cope, and number 3, probably friendlier with the 2002, is getting hold of Lockridge Motorsports. I'm just kidding, guys. No, but you can get a hold of Lockridge Motorsports, and I guarantee you he'll help you out and get you guys out there and get you what you need to do. Lap 204 is now all Franklin's race. He's led the most here tonight. And right now, the Glad Daddy is going to have to go ahead and get comfortable in third as the caution returns back to the track here. I don't know if Adrian Torres is our driver that's won around or if Daniel Lolis looped it yet again. I'm really hoping this is not Lolis, because I think somebody's going to go out there and Bruce Lee him. Give him a flying sidekick to the head here. Let's take a look at the 97. No. Oh, this is good. All right, so let's check on Torres. Let's see if we can get another area. Uh-oh. Not coming to pit? Are we coming? No? Yes? No? Oh, should have. All right, Adrian Torres turns it around there. The 16 off the wall has crashed. Boy, heavy damage on that car. Zero X Media Design saying Kyle crushing just like the broadcaster. Nah, I'm just messing with you guys. Figure we'll have a little fun tonight. 250 laps is what we've got on the mark here for tonight. 206 have been complete. As Kyle Franklin currently crossing the line in the lead. Pace car lights are still on. I'm hoping we'll be able to have a green flag race to the end. I think that's what currently Mark Sikosi is going to need. Sikosi does think the better of it and comes down pit road. His tires have now been put on lap 205, so he will now have the advantage. Not as big as Kyle Franklin did. Kyle Franklin did have a 40-lap advantage. This one sits just under 20. So we'll see. We shall see. I lied. 21 laps. All right, my third grade math is showing up here real well. Kyle Franklin, Glad Daddy sitting in the second spot. Jared Magoon is third. Charles Wilson, not bad for a fourth place run here. That's 3 up from his original qualifying position. Mark Sikosi sits in 5th. Justin Cope is 6th. And Cope has been, getting battened beaten tonight. Hopefully he continues on with this exceptional night. Currently he's sitting 6th there. Johnson looking to catch back up to the track and get back up there. And I believe Adrian Torres is down pit road, which will allow Daniel Lolis to go ahead and slide on by this time around. And move him up to the 8th position. Let's go ahead and get that green flag back out. Try to run this to the end. Fantastic restart there. We give him just a moment to get away. Glatfelter sitting second. Magoon's third. Sikosi cannot wait. He's got to be on the afterburners here to pull it slice on his list. Caution. Sikosi, I think, got third. Around Magoon, and Sikosi's now around. After the caution comes out, heavy damage now to Mark Sikosi's back end of his car. I guarantee he's going to be cursing now. Wow. Yeah, checking down, 0X Media asking if tires were taken by Sikosi. Yes, they were. 15 seconds down there in the box. Right now, Jared Magoon's coming down pit road. Might be a safe place to hide for a little bit. As Brian Wiggins was actually the cause of the beginning of our caution. And then we'll take a look at the caution. Something happened here. Let's take a look. Does the 5 just loop it? Yep. Yep, Wiggins. Look out. All right, let's stick with Sikosi. Oop. Sikosi got loose and Magoon got in the back of him. Okay, well, can't be mad. Can't be mad out there at the 99. Yeah, Sikosi, unfortunately, looks like he's trying to keep it going here. Makes the dive underneath, and then clink. See cope floss around him there. This is Jared Hayes got in some trouble as well under caution. Boy, what in the world is going on out here? This is Hayes in the 32. Hayes, whoop. Okay, just comes to a stop. See? Smart. Smart. Clap that man's hand. Pat him on the back. Great job. A little wreck avoidance goes a long way out there. Sikosi not happy, I guarantee you that. That is really going to mess up his race. We'll take a look, see if I can look off Charles Wilson here and see if we can get close enough out there to Mark Sikosi. See what kind of damage he is suffering. If there is a possibility that the 99 got underneath of him and nothing happened, yeah, it looks like the rear end straight on Sikosi's car. Oh my gosh. So how bad is Magoon? Okay, well, maybe it's just, maybe it's a fluke. Let's go ahead and let it rip. Green flag back out. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully we'll have this thing sewed up here pretty quick. 35 to go. Magoon, nice cross. Caught up some lap traffic there. And puts the 57 into the rear view. Moving up to the Glat Daddy. And Mark Sikosi is all over Franklin now. Guys with some tire advantages sitting in the back. Lap 211 is what they went ahead and put them on. I think this is going to be a showdown right here as these two guys in the front. Glatfelter may have something for him if they get into some trouble. Magoon's already falling backwards now. Eric Johnson starting to come out of nowhere. Here he comes. Great job. It looks like Charles Wilson had a tongue tangle up out there. They're keeping this race rolling. Yeah, 0X is hoping Sikosi's going to be cooking. I think Sikosi has an opportunity. And that opportunity has not left the building yet. Sikosi would love to go back-to-back in some short tracks. And Eric Johnson going ahead and giving a high five to the outside wall out of turn number 2. That's going to go ahead and give the position of 5th back to Jared Magoon. Right now, Magoon's consistency has been really well. And going on the upward slope for the 99 machine. All right. Awesome job. Closest drivers out there are our leaders. Sikosi wants a piece of him here. Now we look off the nose of Mark Sikosi. Here it comes. Whoop! Sikosi wants to go ahead and give Kyle Franklin a little nudge. Nice camera angle here. Monte Carlo of Mark Sikosi. See if he can get him around him here. You see the front nose pick up to the acceleration, then hard back on the splitter. They get back on the brakes. As that lifts up, hard on the brakes. Yep. So Sakosi's got this thing dialed in. Now he's just got to find that soft spot. Taking a look, inside line. Here it comes. Oh, he might have it. Just a fender, though. In New Jersey, that's close enough. Let's see if Sakosi can push just a little farther. No can do. Doesn't have it. Coming up on our 25 lap to go mark. Sakosi taking a look. I see Cope back there looking to readjust around Glatfelter. Glatfelter now drops to 4th. He's going to lose a podium position here if Cope can't hold on. And Cope back under fire. Cope thought he had it here. Didn't have enough. Sakosi looking around. I guarantee you that team out there that is working together out there of Crumley, Cope, and Sakosi. Right now, at least 2 of these guys are killing it out there. Sakosi wanting a little piece. Cope does get a hold of Glatfelter and makes the complete pass. Gets a hold of him. Now Sakosi's job to move up one more. And see if they can get this Outcast team knocked down just a hair before they come in here and start cleaning house of the rest of these drivers here in the NSR League. They're the newcomers here, the outsiders. I like the Outcast Motorsports coming out here and showing them up. And Sakosi full send to the inside. As we cross the line last time around, 24 laps left to go. Mark Sakosi gets out front, gets a clear. And now Kyle Franklin's got to deal with the dirty air. Slices back to the inside of the 8, using some of this lap traffic. The 8 squeezes down. Great job, as you can tell, Sakosi trying to use all of this track that he can, squeezing back down on Kyle Franklin. Franklin bumps him up. So Mark Sakosi back to the drawing board. That traffic gets him in trouble, but Sakosi's send move may have burned him up a little bit. You can only do that a couple more times here. Right now, Chrissy Reed out there. Hoping Franklin can hold on. Taking a look, Sakosi again to the inside. Take a look at this, the Budweiser machine of Mark Sakosi trying to take that Chevrolet on through. Backs up the turn a little bit sooner, that way the 8 can drive through this turn. He's going to have turn exit speed, but the speed is going to go to Kyle Franklin. Number 8's going to have to dive in. Franklin into his side. A little bit of damage there to the number 8, I think. The number 11 will hold up, though. Right now, Sakosi would like to be able to push on by. We're looking off the left front here. That's Sakosi. Oh, a little slip. Now Franklin having some trouble here. That might be the move we needed. And Franklin down to second, 19 to go. Driver into the wall. Looks like Drew Kuhn, and a caution comes out. I think what would bother me the most out here is, yes, there's a caution out, but now Pitt will have to be involved. Here's Drew Kuhn. I don't know if he had a problem here. Looks like a disconnect there by Drew Kuhn. Unfortunately, that does bring out a caution when a disconnect like that happens, and that didn't look like a packet loss. I'm showing the 21 is taking it back to the garage here. And that's what I was afraid of. So when I said pit strategy is going to change it up, once again, now Kyle Franklin's going to come in. And he's going to pit. Sakosi and Magoon stay out. So Sakosi gets it before the caution, but you almost don't want it. That way you can try to out-pit the guy in front of you. And that might be just what Kyle Franklin did. Sakosi's coming on down. Boy, that's going to really, really mess him up here. This is going to set Sakosi down. Yeah, I think this is going to set Sakosi down to, I think, the 8th position, 7th or 8th position. And that's going to move Kyle Franklin up to the number 2 spot. Holy cow. Yeah, Sikosi right now, I guarantee he's probably screaming at himself. But if he had come down, then nobody would have. So, that's the worst part about being the leader. It's not like you can put it in reverse and go back in. So, Sikosi will be restarting in 7th. Looks like 22.6 seconds. So, an obvious adjustment. A little bit of repair by the 8. Set of tires. Daniel Lolis is slowing down, letting the cars get past him here. Zero exit. Pit on closed pits. I do not believe so. I do not believe so. They were given time. Closed pits goes when they start double stacking. So Sikosi came in right after, 1 lap, directly after drivers were working their way out of pits. So pace car lights are still on. I think everybody's ready to go here. Should be off this time by. Yep, all right. Boy, Sikosi's got a lot of work left to do. Whoa, Lolis almost rear ends him though. Disadvantage goes to Jared McGoon coming in on lap 211. Everybody else coming in on lap 233. Sikosi came in on 234. I would say this levels the playing field. Sikosi's going to have a hard time getting through. 14 laps left to go. Here we go. So look at Sikosi. Shoot to the outside here. Already with some trouble. Cope to the inside. Sikosi's trying to shoot up. Sikosi makes a couple of position passes. Now up to 5th. Cope now into 2nd. And Sikosi around. We'll have to double check on Sikosi, see if he may have had to brake check. Looked like somebody slowed up in front of him pretty hard and he just ended up hitting himself. Hoping no one hit the back end of him. Looks like that car is still in one piece. That's one way to heat up the fresh tires out there and knock the stickers off. Let's go ahead and take a look back at it. Sikosi. Heading into the turn here. Yeah, he gets in the back of Glatfelter. I think Glatfelter backed it up way farther than Sikosi was expecting. Good job, everybody, staying out of that wreck. All right, I would assume nobody pits. We will be eye-pacing around here for a little bit. I believe Lolis should get a lap back here. Go ahead and get the wave around. Jared is the number 1 spot. Don't want to knock Jared McGoon, though. This guy's been doing a heck of a job out here tonight. As he is continuing this roll. Appreciate you guys tuning in here to the broadcast tonight for the Napa Auto Parts 400 at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway. Only a half-mile track. Good bit of banking out here. We're using more of that banking for guys to clutch it here, and that way they can save a little bit of fuel, seeing that we've been under caution multiple times here tonight. I hate to tell you how many. Okay, yeah, 15. 15 cautions with a minimum of 4 laps apiece. That is not good. All right, hopefully the pace car lights are back out. Let's race this one out. Everybody pretty excited. Now we're on lap 242 when we get going. Back under green. Now it'll leave us about 8 laps left to go. Remember, it's 14 when we only got 2 chopped away before the next caution came out. Right now, Sikosi back to square one, and now with less laps, it really, really hurts Sikosi. I think he's got a car fast enough to win it tonight, but not like that. Let's go ahead and get back to it. Jared McGoon. chance here of the night. I think Cope's going to have something for him. Cope slings it way to the outside. Cope into the wall. Cope now moves up to 6. Jared Magoon needs to not mirror drive here. Very careful as Lockridge Motorsports coaching him through this. Right now, Kyle Franklin taking a look underneath. Right now, as Magoon keeps the good block on, might have to move down a little bit. We'll see if a caution comes out, and it will. Eric Johnson's around. Don't know, Kyle Franklin, if he got the pass before the caution came out. I do not believe so. I believe Magoon will maintain the #1 spot. 6 laps left to go. The 18 machine turns it around. That's going to be a shootout now. Mark Sikosi does not have enough time to win it here. I would say Sikosi might be able to get a podium, but he's got Glatfelter to get around. He's got Justin Cope to get around, and Cope's been insanely fast here the past couple of laps. So right now, I think everybody's kind of pumping their fist here at the number 18 machine here of Eric Johnson. We'll see what happened to the white and gold car over top. Coming into the inside, any contact, 18, nope, just sticks it and spins. Bummer. You see how everybody else just stayed on that outside line and kept trucking. So they have seen enough of it here tonight. Appreciate all you guys subscribing here to the channel. I can tell you guys are excited about this race here tonight. Ton of laps left to go here. Not a ton of laps left to go. These car lights remain on. I do not believe this will be our first green-white checker here. Green-white checker would mean if it comes out later. This one should be back the way where it goes. Yes, it should be a green-white checker. See, the lights are still on. Jared Magoon has got to be shaking in his boots right now. Lockridge Motorsports pretty quiet, you can tell. Something's up. Right now they're trying to calm this rookie down. Magoon would love to come away with a win here. Right now 0X saying if Kyle doesn't come away with the win, there may be a steak dinner involved here. Yeah, right now one of the teammates spinning out, taking away some time. Kind of passing to be able to happen. Jared Magoon might need to trip him up on the restart here to see if he can break free of Kyle Franklin. Let's see how he does it. Boy, Kyle Franklin on him on that one. I don't know if he crossed the line at the start-finish, but that was close. Oh, gets dumped here. Right now, Cope looks like he lost control of the steering wheel. What, guys, what is going on here? You wouldn't believe who's in the lead. Is this real? Is this? No way. Mark Sikosi across the line. I am... What? What? So what happened? I'm a little beside myself here, ladies and gentlemen. I am a little confused. Kyle Franklin did place 3rd. Eric Johnson was 2nd. But the Napa Autoports 400 win goes to Mark Sikosi. I don't know. A driver like Jared Magoon has got to be hanging his head right now at what just happened. I am a little confused. So here's the restart. Sikosi's in 5th. Boy, That would be something I would want to watch here. I don't know if Kyle Franklin cleared the line first. Something looks wrong. Hold on a second. See if I can find something a little closer. There, beautiful. Does Franklin clear the line first? Boy, that's close. Yeah, it looks like Franklin clears the line first. He may have DQ'd himself right at the beginning. I'm not picking on Franklin here. I'm just saying there may be a multitude of issues that RC is going to be looking at, because I think right there, as Franklin went through. Let's go ahead and follow this last couple of laps here again. And what the heck Justin Coates is thinking? I mean, this is the most insane move I've ever seen. This guy comes off of 2 and almost looks like he just lets go of the steering wheel. Right there. Sikosi down on the bottom. And Cope into it. I mean, look at where Sikosi's sitting. And I'm not saying anything is happening. No, scheme going on here. But this is 2 teammates. And Cope sending it into the inside here, Magoon. Sikosi watching this happen. That takes the 99 and the 11. And I can't blame the 99 and 11 getting into it. Glatfelter's just part of it. Because this whole thing gets wiped out here. And our top 3 drivers are taken out in one swipe. Yeah, 0x out there saying that was kind of in desperation. 110%, but you don't do it on the last lap. You know, I mean, how many points are really on the line? That will bring Mark Sikosi to the win. That is mind-blowing here. How this turned out right here at the end. That is crazy. I can just about guarantee the first 2 guys we're going to talk to are going to have plenty to say. So obviously, don't go away. Alrighty, guys, we catch up with our 3rd place finisher, who I think just about everybody out there was pretty much squaring away at that number 11. Was either going to be coming in 2nd or for the win, seeing you were lined up behind Jared Magoon. But a tough race out there with Mark Sikosi brings him to the win. Talk to me about kind of the beginning part of this race and how did you command out front, and what was, kind of the key to your success early in the start?
It was really important to qualify, towards the front, and I just kind of wanted to get out front and set the pace. That's kind of what I did, just holding on to it. I think Mark there had a little bit better setup in the long run. So I was just trying to keep that distance, between me and him for the most part there at the beginning of the race there. Just not trying to use up too much stuff.
Yeah, and I could agree with you on that. I would have set my car up more for the short run, seeing it's a short track. I mean, cautions are going to happen. There's no doubt about it. But we did have a good slew of cautions. Lane choice was definitely in your favor here tonight. Would you say with less cautions have caused more trouble for you?
Oh, no. Long run, I was pretty good. Extra long run is where it started getting a little loose on me. But I think I could have been right there with Mark. you know, just buying time, you know, just trying to stay out of it. And this car could go anywhere, bottom, top. It wasn't too bad, pretty much anywhere I put the car. So it was real nice racing against him. He was a really clean driver. So.
All right, got a few people out here in the chat that are probably thinking exactly what I'm thinking. This last lap, in the act of desperation, it looked like, I believe the number 59, I guess, let go of the wheel and sent it through. It looked like 3 and 4 there. Any comment on that?
No comment, man. Guys are guys. You know, stuff happens. Hopefully it doesn't happen and it'll be a reoccurrence, you know. Try to be out here and race as clean as I can, give respect to anybody I race against.
Yeah, and it's definitely tough. I'm not saying any of it was, what is it now, malicious intent, but some just was too much for how this race was going and how it unfolded right at the end. I can't blame the 99. The two of you guys, I thought were going to be duking it out right here at the end. But Goon was looking so excited because he had an opportunity to come away with a win. You had an opportunity to come away with a win, and it just kind of got scribbled out there. But I'm assuming we will see you return. The next race might be a little bit different than what you're used to. iRacing Super Speedway is the All-Star race. Interested in showing up?
Yeah, definitely interested. It just plays havoc with my real racing schedule. So it all kind of depends on what's going on here at home. So.
Cool. What do we race for real?
So I race a hobby stock V8 class on 970s.
Awesome. All right, Kyle, go and give me a shout out here, buddy. Let's get you back out there.
Yeah, shout outs to everybody that put this on. That's awesome. I enjoyed racing here. These short tracks are a blast. You guys up in the booth, I haven't get to see the replay yet, so I guess I will. Shout out to you know, my crew, all the guys there helping with you know, setting these things up and just having fun, man. You know, we're just out here to have a good time, put on a good show for everybody. All the fans that were out there, you know, friends and family and everybody that's there for me.
Awesome job.
But I want to shout out to Outcast Motorsports.
There you go, and Zero X Media out there. Definitely.
And Zero X Media, yep, and Pinnacle Wraps, because Drew Coon's the man. He set this fiery race car up, man.
There you go. And Christy Reed.
Oh, hey, Christy. Yeah, yep, and shout out to Christy, yes.
There you go. See,
that's my girl.
I might just saved your night. You
yes,
can thank me later.
I would. Yes, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Kyle, next time, brother. Congratulations
on
your third place finish.
Yep, thank you.
All right, look at that. Now I'm not causing problems, I'm fixing problems. All right, let's get to somebody who had to do nothing but fix a ton of problems here tonight, the 18 machine. I tell you what, Eric, you from one lap to the next, I swear, this thing could have been 10 times better for you out here. You started the race on lap number 4 getting maimed out there. How's it, you know, how did you come all the way back and finish second?
I mean, who doesn't like a great roller coaster ride? I tell you what, we started out with over 2 minutes of damage, and we were just grinding.
Yeah, roller coaster, I'm not saying I like everything coming as a plan and it going absolutely perfect, but slightly deviating from the plan is one thing. Taking your plan, crushing it up, and throwing it out the window is another.
Hey, you know what? I had a good team around me, and we just figured out what to do. We had some cautions, get in there, fix some damage. We were a little tight for majority of the time. We got a lot of it fixed, and then guess what? We got a lot more, and then we stacked it back up, and yeah, once again, man, we just kind of backdoored our way into a second place there. I'm not sure what happened, but we'll take it.
Yeah, it was insane out there, man. Definitely a way to you guys to continue pile driving through and trying to hold up as long as you can. Starting from the 4th position here tonight, a lot of things happened. A ton of caution. But you, Glatfelter, Franklin, and I'll throw Charles Wilson in there. You guys really
Charles, my boy.
Yeah, you guys had a lot of stuff going on. And I think if Drew Coon hadn't gone ahead and greeted the barrels with the front of his car. You guys may have had a real run here tonight.
Yeah, Kyle and Adam, they put together a really good set that was fast, but it still felt comfortable. I don't know if it looked like it on the broadcast, but this track, it's got some of the most character in any track you can race. I know Darlington's out there and too tough to tame, but this track, you had a dip into turn one. If you hit that thing wrong, you're slow spinning, can't save it. You got a hilltop out of the exit of 2. If you hit that wrong on the throttle, you're spinning, can't save it. 3 and 4, you overdrive it, you're spinning, you can't save it. I mean, this was a tough track, and I had a blast out there. It may not look like it, but man, I like the adversity, and I just appreciate the Outcast boys, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, we will be having even more fun next week. I expect to see you there. iRacing Super Speedway. This is going to be a crapshoot out there for the All-Star race. I don't know how fast the cars can go. I don't know how you're going to set it up for the dive into the turns or the jump out of the turns. What's your outlook there? I mean, is it just somebody else take the wheel and pray for the best?
Yeah, iRacing Super Speedway is crazy. I don't know if a lot of people's raced it or whatnot, but diving in the corner is like a 2-story drop. It doesn't matter what you're in. It's a rough drop in, but the new Gen 4's dropping. And apparently tonight was the last night we were racing this Gen 4. We're all hopping into that new beauty. And so everybody's going to be on a clean slate. We're all going to try to figure out a setup for it. And hopefully they got a good drafting package for us off the rip. And we can get out there and put on a show for you guys.
Yeah, I'd be really surprised to see if we don't have to extend or move the schedule a little bit. Especially if the car changes drastically. You know what I mean? Moving the Chevys and the Fords out there. All right, Eric, go ahead and give me your shout-outs, man. Great job on a second-place finish.
Hey, I appreciate it. It was a grind all night. And we could not have done it without the Outcast boys. All my Outcast members out there, we appreciate you, especially Adam and Kyle. You guys put together a great set. It was fantastic. Zero X Media, they're on the car there. Good partner of ours. We love you guys. Thank you so much. And Drew with Pinnacle Wraps wrapped all of us Outcast boys up. I'm sure you can tell. We're matching cars out there. Got some popping colors. We appreciate you, Drew, and we appreciate you up there in the booth at SimTraX Broadcasting, doing what you do. And I can't wait to go back and watch broadcast. And it was a fun race.
Awesome. Appreciate it, man. And we definitely tried my hardest up here, producing, chasing you guys after cautions and all this other stuff. Man, whatever it is, just stop. Just guys, just race. Stop.
The one-man show, man. It's impressive what you do because you don't have somebody to help you out. When you feel like you're stumbling, they can't pick you up. And I appreciate what you do, brother, and keep it up.
That's all right, man. Hey, you're only one guy inside the car. You're the one who's got to save it. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm a driver. We talk about all these setups and stuff, and I don't know what's going on. They give me something, and they say, hey, drive it. And I'm like, all right, I'll do that.
I don't know when to pit.
Tell me, help.
There you go. All right, Eric. See you next week, brother.
Hey, thank you, brother. Have a good night.
You too. All right. That was fun. Outcast. All right, I like these guys. They got a good head on their shoulders. Everybody gets pretty wound up when people start getting wrecked. Guys getting smushed up out there, but let's go ahead and talk about somebody who almost scrubbed his race out there. Mark, honestly, nothing against you, buddy, but I did not think I was going to be talking to you here.
I didn't either.
So
I didn't either. We got lucky there at the end.
Okay, so we don't pit. We have to pit then a lap later. Throws you down in the 7th. You move up to 5th. Caution comes out and come away with a win in a matter of 2 laps.
Yeah. I don't even know where to start. So there was a miscalculation on my part. I didn't realize everybody behind me still had another set of tires. I thought we were a set ahead of them because we were on a different strategy. So yeah, I didn't plan on coming in because we still were, we still had a little bit fresher tires than the rest of them guys. So it was so hard to try to get around Kyle. We were a little bit better than him second half of a run. We could hang with him the first half. A lot of fun battling him all night. I'm glad he's running with us now. All the Outcast guys too. Really bunch of solid drivers. Had a lot of fun tonight. I'm sure towards the end I started making mistakes there at the end. We got crazy at the end. We got yellows coming out. We're having to stomp on the brake because the pace car is coming out too early. And you don't want to miss pit road because if you're towards the front and you're in front of that pace car, you got to go around again, which happened to me and Kyle early on. So, yeah, things got a little aggressive there at the end. I don't know exactly what happened at the end. I know I took it 3 wide for must have been third, fourth, and fifth, and I think maybe Cope sent it in a little deep, and yeah, I seen all the cars just wash up and they're all over the place, and it's like a Days of Thunder type deal, and we the seas parted and we got through there, and I thought I gave the win away. I thought there was no way we were gonna win it, but
Yeah.
here we are.
Came back down the pit. I thought, well, that's it. He's done. But
Yep.
we kept
Yep.
tabs on you there, and what
We-
an interesting finish this was.
We ran out of laps there. I knew as the laps were clicking off, we weren't going to get there. It was too hard to get around some of these guys, especially when they were so close in speed. This was a really tough place to get around to begin with, and the way you had to set the car up, you had to be on the edge because the cars would go so tight here. You had to start out a little free, and they were a little out of control to start these runs.
Wow, man. What an interesting race. A lot of lapped cars you guys were facing tonight, and a lot of cautions ended up coming around. Hearing kind of what Kyle and Eric were saying out there, the track may be a lot to blame out here. We got humps and bumps and dips out there.
Oh, yeah.
Did you run into any of that?
Yeah, especially in the outside groove there in turn 2, you could really feel it, and you could really, if you're not careful, you could really burn your right sides up there. Some guys were holding pretty good speed up there, but I felt like with our car, it was kind of chewing them up there. We didn't want to be up there too long if we did go up there. But yeah, you could feel it. We actually scrapped the setup, our original setup. We were going to go with maybe a couple hours before the race, and went with something totally different. The Outcast guys looked really good in our practice, so we switched it up, and we kind of saw how their car was reacting, so we went with something closer to what they were running. I don't know how close we got it, but I felt like when we went out there and qualified, we didn't have a qualifying setup. We went out there, and I think I qualified third, so that shocked me. I said, all right, maybe we have something here. And I ran a somewhat long run there before qualifying, and it seemed all right. It seemed a little bit better than what we had. So yeah, I thought long run speed. I think we had it tonight. It would take me most of a run to try to get around Kyle Franklin. He was tough tonight. I wish it would have came down to me and him there at the end, like how it was going. But we had yellows left and right tonight. It was crazy. Probably not as many as Southern National, but it was rough.
Yeah, it definitely started getting pretty dicey out there. Some of these guys were a little bit nervous with the amount of cautions that were rolling around out there. But Mark, you do stick it out and make it there. Before I get your shout-outs, I almost chuckle to myself thinking about how in the world anybody is going to set up a Gen 4 for iRacing Super Speedway next week. You want to keep the car low for speed, but you have to raise it up to be ready for the dip down and it smooths the suspension. But you don't want to be too high on the turn exit, as you'll come off the ground and jump. So, really, what is even the right strategy, and where do you even start?
And we have a new car. I don't know if the physics are going to change a little bit just because of the longer wheelbase and shape of the bodies. Yeah, it's going to be. And we don't have as much time either. Nobody can get started until Tuesday. So I'm not sure. We're gonna have to play around with some things and try to get it figured out. Not really sure what to expect. We're hoping that they drive a little different. I'm always up for a new challenge. Yeah. But that's also why we changed the dates there. We moved the All-Star race up because otherwise we'd be going to Sebring with the new car, and I thought that wasn't a very good idea. So we might as well go with the an all-star race and plate track, so it's a little easier for everybody to get acclimated to the new car.
Yeah, to figure it out and see at least what it looks like, what it feels like, and what different things it's going to do. All right, Mark, go and give me a shout out, sir, brother.
Yeah, well, I got to thank the guys that all of our drivers that show up week in and week out, keep helping us grow this league. Devin's one of the main guys helping us out a lot of different ways behind the scenes, and I know he's upset right now because what happened there with his team there at the end of the race, but hopefully he cools down. And Doug keeps the funding coming with Track Day for Veterans, Foo Bar Studios. Obviously, got to thank my teammates, Wiggins and Pope and Crumley. We spend some time together putting these setups together. Yeah, and obviously you guys, because without great broadcasts, I mean, it's not as much fun. You gotta have some eyes on us.
Yeah, and see, I had you nervous. I was able. I made it, I think, 63 miles and made it in time. Hot dog. We got it.
Yeah, we were wondering. Like, oh, it's probably better, he don't show up tonight because we don't know how this one's gonna go.
That's right. I don't know how next week's gonna go. I'm nervous about that one. Good Lord.
Oh yeah.
Well, we can't be eye-pacing for 25 lap stages. So we'll let you get to it, Mark. Congratulations on your win, buddy. Definitely a surprise. You go back-to-back on the short tracks. We'll hold you to it when you get to USA International Speedway and see if you can go for the trifecta. Congratulations on the win tonight. We'll see you then, brother.
All right. Thank you.
All right, everybody. That should do it for us here at SimTraX Broadcasting. What a race this was. Mark Sikosi coming away with the win. Wild run here tonight. And, you even heard it from the man out there. He's saying Lockridge Motorsports is a little wrapped around the axle, and I don't blame him, From this angle, it looked pretty bad. I mean, I can't guarantee nor deny something did or did not happen. We just broadcast what we see. I noticed that the number 59 went to the inside, was obviously sending it a little too hard in there. And unfortunately just took out Jared Lagoon. And that's got to be a heartbreaker for Lockridge Motorsports crew. Because if you think about Jared Hayes in the 32, he was out early in this run, and especially kind of smacking down there at the bottom. And then 13 is where he ended up finishing. So I hate to say it for him. Hopefully this turns around and gets better, guys. I will see you hopefully next week at iRacing Super Speedway, Zero X Media. Guys, dude, I appreciate you coming out here. Adam Glatfelter as well, and Christy Reed. Don't forget about you, Miss Stella. I'll see you on Monday. And Devin Lockridge definitely chiming in and giving us a little bit. Hopefully we'll see Brett Bullard on the track, but less in the chat out there. But we'll see you guys here in the next coming days here from SimTraX Broadcasting. Until then, you will be safe and kind. I'll see all you guys next time.